Al-alim. They put in this translation the omniscient. And I think that word works. We usually just say the all knowing or the one who knows, the one attributed with knowledge. If you want standard old school Jamariya translation, you're going to say Al-alim means the one attributed with knowledge. Now, in recent times, some of our brothers and sisters are using this word here, omniscient. That word works. And if you want a word that many people say, even non-Muslim people, you might say all-knowing. Allah is all-knowing. The one who is attributed with the eternal and everlasting attribute of knowledge that does not change, increase, decrease, or get renewed, yani, or update. It does not update. He is knowledgeable, not like other knowledgeable beings, because his knowledge is eternal and the knowledge of others is originated. Yes. And so then that makes me mention for you very important case also, which is you encounter a philosopher and he says to you, you claim that Allah is not like the creations. Then you're going to say, yeah, it's true. You're going to say, it is a claim, but it's a true claim because claims can be true or false. So he's going to say to you, well, you see, I have a problem here because while you're telling me that he is not like anything, you're telling me that he knows and hears and sees and speaks. And I know and I hear and I see and I speak. So I'm just trying to understand how you don't see that you are contradicting yourself in a massive way. I wonder, do you have an answer for this?
Um, I, I, I don't think I have a good enough answer.
Okay. So the answer here for this lies in explaining to this person what similar means. What similar means. If you can make him understand what similar means, then you should satisfy his thirst here. You say to him, don't worry. I am not contradicting myself, and I understand where your confusion lies. And I say, I'm not confused. For me, I'd say, maybe I won't say anything if I want to be nice to him. If I didn't want to be nice to him, I'll say, yeah, you are. Let me explain. Why you are confused? Because you think that because we say Allah knows and hears and sees and speaks, that we are in reality comparing Allah to us because we know and hear and speak and see. You'll say, yeah, that's right. That's my issue completely. So you say to him, but you would not have this issue if you knew what it meant to be similar or dissimilar. You think it's enough to use the same word for two things to be similar. Now you might say, no, I know that just because it's the same word doesn't mean similar, but look what you are saying. You might say, I know a word can have more than one meaning. That's not the thing. But look what you are saying. You are saying that Allah is a self and Allah exists. And Allah has knowledge and power and will and sight and hearing and speech. And I am alive. I exist and I am alive and I have knowledge and power and will and sight and hearing and speech. So how are you going to just say he's not like us? You might say, you sound like the Christians. Don't the Christians say God is one? And then they turn around and say he's three? I say to you, that's what you are doing now. You say to him, no. Understand what it means for two things to be similar, and then you're going to know that what you think I'm saying is not what I'm saying. Okay. You say to him, similar things, two things are similar when they are interchangeable. So he might, I don't know, listen to you. So he might say, continue. Or he might say, no. If he did that, it's because he's stubborn one. Let's say he's listening. So you say to him, similarity is confirmed between two things when those two things are interchangeable, when they are replaceable. If one of those things can take the place of the other, then they are similar. And as long as they cannot take the place of the other, then they are not similar. So, yes, we say Allah is attributed with hearing, sight, and speech, but his hearing is not suitable for the hearing of the creation, and the creation's hearing is not suitable for him. So, since they are not interchangeable, then they are not similar. Any question?
No questions. That's very clear. Yes.
So that's the second step that sometimes the brothers and sisters don't know how to talk about. So they would be saying what's right, saying Allah is not like the creations. His hearing, his sight, and his speech are not like the creations. Then some person, usually is going to be some sort of an intellectual, or he's going to be a Wahhabi, is going to tell you you're a hypocrite because you don't want to say he has eyes and hands and face, but you're going to say he has uh, knowledge and power and will. So sometimes a person doesn't know how to go further. And maybe the most of what he knows is to say, just because you have the same word doesn't mean it has the same meaning. But he won't know how to elaborate on not having the same meaning. He just know how to elaborate on using the same words doesn't mean the same meaning necessarily, but what does it mean to have the same meaning? So you might need to go there. So what it means to have the same meaning is that things are interchangeable. And so therefore, according to this, if you understand what I'm saying to you, then you know that some of the creations are different from other creations. They are different, but not absolutely different. Yani Allah, He is different from all creations. One creation would be different from another creation in some ways, but not in all ways. If I say to you, bring me something that has a beginning for its existence, then you could bring me a rock, you could bring me uh, an ant, for example. Let's stick with those. You could bring me a rock and you could bring me an ant. Why that's valid? Are they similar? Yeah, based on the standard of being something that has a beginning. It's like I'm saying, my standard is for what you bring to me to have a beginning. So, according to the standard, they are similar because they're interchangeable in this case. one thing that has a beginning for another thing that has a beginning. But if my challenge were, bring me something alive, then you cannot bring me a rock. The rock is different from the animal for you. Let's stop here.